in the interaction of our vṛttis and the vṛttis of other people, it is difficult to trace what is our real goal or our purpose, or even how do we feel. A lot of people have a difficulty to understand their emotions, and they think that sometimes they are sad, for example, but in fact they are angry, but can't accept that on the rational plane. So in this state, as you've said previously, it is difficult to maintain harmonious relationships with the others, because if we don't understand what kind of psychic waves pass through our mind, we can't decode our inner state and the state of the others. So this sutra, that yoga is the control of the modifications of our mind feel, is very precious, as it gives us the first sign, the first indication that we should distinguish what is our real self and what is the coverings of the external mind, manas, intelligence, buddhi, our ego, ahamkara, that contains all the kind of psychic material unimaginable, and our unconscious mind. So the challenge for a researcher who just started this kind of study is that to begin to distinguish between our immortal spiritual self, the subject of everything, and the waves, the coverings, the mental identifications that have created our inner image, but that often doesn't correspond to reality.
Right, yeah. Actually, yes, this is very well put. This is literally what is the approach that Patanjali takes, because we spoke earlier about this concept of this unchanging consciousness, the soul, which Patanjali uses the term as puruṣa. To really understand and take benefit of the yoga science, let's just pause back and understand the nature of the self first. The Vedic literature, of which the yoga philosophy is part of, it very scientifically explains that the nature of the self is what is called as Sat, Chit and Ananda. These are three very, very popular terms used in Vedic literature, where Sat means a sense of permanence or eternality. And if you think about it, each and every form of life wants to live forever. In fact, there is a very deep, innate desire to avoid death. Forget about death. Each and every one of us, we are striving hard to achieve a sense of stability in our life, some kind of a permanent status in our life, right? And if you objectively look at the world around us, this material nature, material energy around us, material energy is characterized by change. Nothing is permanent but change in this material world. Seasons keep changing, day and night keeps changing, temperature keeps changing, our bodies keep changing, they keep getting old. So this is a question that the scriptures they raise is, if life is a product of matter, life or consciousness is a product of matter, why is it that the consciousness is uncomfortable with change and death as a phenomena? Right? So if it's like saying a fish is uncomfortable in water, that doesn't make logical sense. So if we are a product of matter, if consciousness is a product of matter, it should be compatible with the change and the phenomena of death. Why are we looking for permanence and stability in a place which is impermanent and unstable? So clearly it indicates that the nature of the self is not like material nature, but it is something anti-material or spiritual. And this is the foundational concept on which Patanjali, he talks about the concept of puruṣa. That this puruṣa, the self, the soul, is by nature sat or permanent. And this permanent soul is now trying to interact with the world which is constantly changing. Right? It's like oil and water are trying to mix, and they can't mix so easily. So there is a need for an interface between these two. This changing matter and the unchanging steady soul, they need an interface in between, and that interface is the chitta or the mind. So we need to understand the yoga psychological approach, how and what is the mind. For most of us, mind is just a thought space, some inner space where I think, I feel, I express things, I experience emotions, right? That is all good. But am I my thoughts? Am I my emotions? This is a question that we need to ask.